Welcome to my DCS campaign test of the campaign MAD for the Apache from Stone Sky in DCS. I want to use the opportunity to explain what I'm doing in the helicopter in this video and of course in the next videos of this series. And hopefully this can be helpful for you if you have started to learn the Apache and still have some things which need to get clarified. And here I can show you things I'm doing in the mission, and I think this is a good way to explain the helicopter.
Ground ready for startup. Restartup checklist complete.
First of all, close the door of the helicopter. Now we want to cold start the helicopter, switch the battery on, start the APU, uncage the levers to idle. Now I set my lights and internal lights. After the APU is powered on, you have power to the systems. I check the kneeboard. Now I switch the radios to manual frequency as mentioned in the kneeboard.
Listen, Khalid. The targets are located very close to one another. I will ask you to fly not too fast and, if possible, without maneuvering so that I could keep them covered. Alright, Salah, no worries.
We need to do this so that we can request the approval to start up the engines. So I take the frequencies from the kneeboard and tune my radios regardingly. Check for typos, as I have done here. Typo issue. Now I start the engine one. Open TSD to see as soon as the INS is aligned.
Tablet to communications model. Yes, Sabre 3-1 is going back home. They worked on the shore, but they left us some targets to prepare to receive coordinates. Roger.
I configure my TSD page so that I get all information into the TSD page I want to have. In my case, I nearly check everything. You can do this different to attack a navigation page or the same way. Now start engine 2. Uncage the horizon instrument. Activate the squelch. Bore side the IHATs. This is a little bit tricky in VR. Much easier in 2D. Now I pull the levers forward to fly position gently. Now I can power down the APU. Now comp check is happening.
2, comp check in 10 seconds.
I configure my CPG seat, turn on the TUTS, set your lightning.
And on FM1. 7-1. Loud and clear.
Bore side I-hats for CPG.
Bullseye 264, 435 at 14,000.
Now I'm checking that the TSD screen, if the INS is aligned. You can see the background of the map, so it is aligned. Activating, switching on my countermeasure control panel. And we're good to go. So now get airborne and fly en route to waypoint 1.
And the battle rages on. See you later, my safari. 2 on the right. 7-1. On station at Bulls 264, 435 at 14,000. 2, take your place on the right, interval 300 feet. Roger, 2, taking position on the right. 7-1. On station at Bulls 263, 430 at 14,000.
I switched now to the CPG seat and I let the AI pilot fly. I'm configuring again my TSD page for the CPG same way I have done for pilot seat. Again, you can do this in a different way for the navigation and the attack phase.
734, salute.
And you can control the pilot the same way as you would control the CPG as pilot. So whenever you're in one seat, you can control the AI of the other seat the same way. Now I am going to configure my ASE module. I put it to armed and acquisition. Finally, I activate my center tank in the fuel page.
On speed.
I switch back to the pilot seat, and take care here whenever you switch from CPG to pilot seat, you can get a hard transition. What I mean, you need to take good control of cyclic and collective, and you should never switch in extreme situation from CPG to pilot seat. If possible, you can avoid this. It makes it easier.
Saber 3-1, any exact information?
On station at bullseye 263-430 at 14,000.
Copy that. Confirm receiving coordinates.
7-1 on station at Bulls 265.
Look out for the ART target. It's in the mountains behind Bostan. I couldn't find their forward observer. He's probably somewhere in the foothills. The ART target is a priority, but make sure you do a good job over Bostana. There are armored vehicles and infantry, so the hazard level is high.
I have now received coordinates from mission control, and so now I need to enter these coordinates into the navigation system via a TSD page. So I show you here how you can enter these coordinates. It's a good idea to set the keys, the number keys of the keyboard unit there to your numlock keys on your keyboard. Makes it easier to enter the numbers of the coordinate.
Coordinates are in. All targets in the TSD. Excellent.
I switch my countermeasure automation behavior here so that it applies countermeasures automatically as soon as a rocket or a threat is detected. Now I use time acceleration here. And to make it even more easier, I switch to the CPG seat and use time acceleration again.
7-1 on station at Bulls 263-430 at 14,000.
I change my acquisition source now so that I can slave my TUTs to my IHATs, so that I can look in any direction and then slave the TUTs to this direction where I'm looking. For this you need to have TUTs at your sight source and the gunner helmet sight as your acquisition source. On the left hand grip you can choose the camera lens, the zoom level which you want to have in your TUTs, and you can choose the camera if you want to use the TV camera or the infrared camera. I use the linear motion controller function here. The linear motion controller is not a ground stabilize in that sense. It is a possibility that allows you to move your camera automatically in a direction at the speed you configure. Now I interact with the AI pilot so that I can run the command to do a right turn and fly to the new direction.
At requested heading. Coming left.
I do this because I want to engage the enemies from the seaside this time. I tried the mission already once and I found it difficult to attack the enemies from the other side, from the land side, because it is difficult to get a good view inside this town where the enemy units are located from the shore side, from the land side. So I tried this time from the seaside, and this is the reason why I'm not escorting the Chinooks to the waypoint 3 I could react here if there would be something which endangers the Chinooks. I decided, but there's nothing at the moment there. So I want to try it that way this time, and I improvise a little bit and leave the given route.
Coming right. On course.
Salak, initiate auto search of AFV target coordinates via ACQ. After Paniac 3 landing, we are heading for Bustana. Our targets are armored vehicles, infantry, and SAMs.
I've changed my acquisition source to target 1 so that I now can slave directly to target 1.
2 at the ready.
7-1 on station at Bulls 262-430 at 14,000.
I try now to get to identify, to find the enemy units. If you use the TV camera, you have a bigger zoom level than on the infrared camera, and you can use the brightness and contrast knobs to adjust the picture in your TADs.
Copy. Increasing altitude.
Because I cannot see the enemy units, I decide to climb to a higher altitude, because then I have a better angle to look upon the buildings, so that I can see hopefully units which are hiding between these buildings in this town or village. You have to be careful whenever you're doing this technique, because of course if you are in a higher altitude, you're in an exposed position, and enemy units like SAM sites or SHORAD units could easily track you. But on the other hand, it is a good possibility to get a better overview, of course.
At requested altitude.
Contact free on final. Thanks for your support, Saber Free 2. See you on the Alpha, Sidika.
7-1.
2, slowly, approaching the AFE target, heading 085 from the water.
7-1 on station at Bulls 265-430 at 13,000.
So the escort task is now successfully accomplished, and now I can fully concentrate on finding and attacking the enemy units.
Speeding up. On speed. Copy. Increasing altitude. Copy. Slowing down. Falcon altitude. Coming left. Speed set. Rolling out. Copy. Slowing down.
Again, I increased my altitude and changed my course so that I now fly towards this city, and now I have found units there, aim units there, and I'm saving these units so that I'm able later to slave to the position of this unit again. So this is an important function if you are monitoring an area and found some units and you want to continue to observe if there are more enemy units, then you should save the position. Of course, this is only possible if the unit is not moving, because you save not the unit itself, you save the coordinates where the unit is placed at the moment. I use the infrared camera to find targets or units, or possible targets, that's the right word. And then I check with the TV camera with a higher zoom level if it is a target or not. So with the infrared camera you're able to see all units or buildings and things, everything which is emitting infrared radiation. So it's easier to find units in a city there. But then if it is daytime, I like to change to the TV camera to verify what I have found. So in that case here, I want to be sure that I have not overseen units in this city, so that the moment I'm heading towards the enemy units, I do not want to have a bad surprise like man-pads or Shurat units, which are then firing at my helicopter. So I'd like to get pretty sure, at least, that I have found the majority of the enemy units. I will do a cut now, because it is not very interesting to watch me finding targets, and we will then continue with attacking targets.
Ready to start, Commander.
So I'm in range now and I want to fire, so I change my trajectory of the Hellfires to high so that I have a maximum of the range I can use my weapon. And now I'm lasing the target and shooting the Hellfire, and on the right down corner of the TADS you can see the time, the estimated time the missile will arrive at the point I'm lasing at the moment.
7-1 on station at
During this attack you should always be careful if you get counter-attacked. So in that case then you have to of course abort your attack, do defensive maneuvers and then recommit again.
Splash!
Two targets destroyed, so now I attack the third target. One additional information, if you are aiming at a target or building, always aim to the lowest corner of the unit or building, then you will have the best effect.
The IV is down.
7-1 on station at Bulls 262.
The enemy is suppressed. They are now hiding in the buildings. We may start with our next target. The ART artillery in the mountains. Copy that.
So I did a cut here. My next task was to attack the artillery group in the mountain area, and so I again used the CPG Seat to attack them. First weapon is here again, Hellfire rocket. And on the top of a mountain, another group of bad boys is located there. Here we can see Mampad, Threat, and other units. So I engage them again with a Hellfire, so that I don't get into their range.
Personnel targets destroyed. Equipment is down. Delta 8, Saber 3-2. Forward controller is down.
Good job, Saber. I have one more request for you.
We still have some ammunition.
Copy,
We can
coming
work.
up. Copy. Speeding. Walking altitude.
Taiwan settlement. There are snipers and observers on the rooftops. Our task is to take and hold this village. My request is that you suppress as much of the enemy as you possibly can.
Accepted your request. We'll be working in D1.
Speed set.
2, start working.
Roger that, 2.
7-1. On station at bullseye 265.
I've chosen to give this additional task to my wingman, and I will take care of these artillery guns.
Commander, we are through. All targets are down.
Copy. Speeding up.
I'm using the ACQ GHS target method. Try to do less maneuvering, Commander.
At requested speed. Copy. Slowing down.
I want to attack the artillery guns with the gun, so I needed to fly closer to them, so that the gun the targets are in range and the gun can be still effective. At this high range, it's the gun is never very accurate, but at this range,
Copy.
it is.
Speeding up.
You have more spread, or you need to, in other words, you need to more often rearrange your aiming. As you can see here, I shoot at a point and then I try to rearrange my aiming so that I'm able to hit the targets.
Copy, slow one down. Speed set.
After seeing that I have difficulties to hit the targets in an accurate way, I change my burst. I increase my burst to 50, and this was a good decision. Now I have more chance to hit the targets. After destroying the last artillery units and my wingman has completed his task, we were RTB, and now only the landing on the home base and on the carrier is, on the helicopter carrier, is needed.
We are home. Engines shut down. Performing best landing checklist.
Ground service connected. How was your flight, Captain? Any complaints?
Yes, a couple of remarks. I will report after the shutdown.
Rotor RPM high.
Okay, now I won't give my personal feedback for the mission of the campaign. So the time effort was 1 hour 30 roundabout. Realism, I think, was okay, was fine. Spawning units, I always think this is not a good choice if a mission creator is using the option that units spawn which have not been there before. But in this special case, it's in a city. The units could be hidden in houses, so this is fine for me. This is okay. So here, nothing to complain. The mission itself was okay. Was interesting to fly. For myself, I can say I was not able to identify with the pilot and the CPG in this story setting, but this is my personal feeling. And what is very good is the kneeboard and the idea to make the kneeboard look like a tablet. That was really good, and I enjoyed the idea and the good quality of the kneeboard. And I enjoyed very much that I was able to give a task to the wingman so that the other helicopter is doing one of the tasks. This was good too. I personally think flying information with the AI unit is never a good idea as mission creator, because this is not working very good. And so this was something I was not enjoying. And the last thing, as I tried the mission earlier, there was then information that the enemy is suppressed and they are back in the houses, but still units were shooting out of the city. So this is can get a misunderstanding. So after all, my mission rating is from my side good, and we will see us again in the next mission.